It's just fantastic. Captain's log, subdate 210415.4. We've recalled the probe and intend to leave the anus once the warheads are ready. As we're waiting, I've granted the crew some R&R near Magog's anus because I'm a really good boss. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people. To start, and we're going to work ourselves into this with a nice, easy bit of stupid, we're going to go to Labour MP Claudia Webb, who is currently suspended from the party and going to trial for allegedly threatening a woman. For the sake of it, she is a renowned Corbynista, extremely far left, blah blah blah, regurgitated socialism points. It is not the reason I've introduced you to her today. No. The reason I'm introducing you to Claudia Webb today is because she has decided to take it upon herself during her suspension to rail against the current national curriculum for children in schools by tweeting out, which makes you think surely this is a This Week at Twitter thing. No, I've got enough of that. This can come here instead. This map has been hidden from you all your life. This is how they carved up Africa. This is a reference to the African colonies after the Berlin Conference of 1884. As you can see, much of it was under control. The fun thing here is, this was taught in schools, because everyone knows about World War I, and the contributing factor Africa played in World War I happening, which means one did have to know who controlled what, where they controlled it, before they could then try and seize it. And as you see on this map, Germany have a few locations which the English and the French attempted to seize from them. This was then pointed out to Claudia Webb via a number of replies to her tweet, pointing out she's an absolute moron who clearly doesn't pay attention to Key Stage 3 national curriculum, which means it's taught in every secondary school in England. You precious suspended Labour MP fool. It is not a conspiracy, therefore it is not hidden from you. It is simply you ignoring what's right in front of you, because you're really bored and can't be bothered to do even the smallest amount of research. Are you deaf noodles? To the next subject, we're going to go to Jackie McCormack, who with her husband had bought their dream home, a £350,000 home in Coleshill, which is near Birmingham. And on the list of accents I can do adequately, I can only say Birmingham when trying to sound like someone from Birmingham. I will try and refrain from using such vulgar accents on this channel ever again. To make sure this house was appropriate and a dream home for her, Jackie and her husband visited the property 7 times before deciding to purchase it. What Jackie wasn't paying attention to, though, was the time initially of when she was actually going to view the property. You see, behind her property is a road called the A446, which is an incredibly busy road. And it's not far from her house at all. It's an A road. Lorries go down that road. Street racers go down that road. So much so that she has to wear earplugs. And enough traffic goes by, even during coronavirus pandemic lockdown England, that the walls of her house start shaking. Which is, I'll be honest, quite amusing, because this is her dream property. But somehow she never noticed the A446 on the other side of her back garden. Now, she has not blamed the estate agent for this, and that is understandable as the estate agent is trying to make a sale. The person to blame is actually the person that bought the property, who failed to do their due diligence and research. But Jackie, who we're now going to call Karen, has decided something has to be done about this. So she has asked the council to reduce the speed limit there to 40 miles per hour and introduce crash barriers, forgetting here that the speed limit on that road is 70 miles per hour, and she herself has conceded boy racers do over 100. Introducing a speed limit to boy racers isn't going to make them want to go any slower. Hell, street cameras won't if they go fast enough. To move on from that, we're going to go to Jessica McMillan. Jessica McMillan is 23 and has an anger problem, but she's not a monster. I want you to know this now. She said it herself. I am not a monster. Why do we have to tell you this though? Well, because during a rather heated argument in a pub in South Wales with a man called Ryan Davis, she decided to glass him. She's not a monster, everyone. but she has a bit of an issue with her temper. When this went to trial, she was found guilty after she admitted to a lesser offence of unlawful wounding. As a result of that, given a 15-month prison sentence. Here's the kicker though. Suspended for 18 months. My view is, you glassed a guy because you couldn't handle the mad bants. You disagreed and you destroyed him. He had to have 27 stitches and is scarred for life. He has admitted he has lost his confidence, he hides his scar with facial hair. Somewhat interestingly, she had denied unlawfully and maliciously wounding with intent and was found not guilty. Just to finish on this particular story, because it is quite short, she did release a statement after leaving court a free woman. I honestly hate talking about it. The main thing is, I now have a criminal record. I will never be what I want to be in life now. I'm planning to go to uni soon, as well to try to get somewhere. I'm not a monster, and I've been feeling like one for months. I just want to move on with my life. Insert any and all available comments here about that, considering what you did to another person, over words. To our penultimate subject, we're going to go to the BBC. And yes, hashtag defund the BBC, where the BBC diversity chief has taken shots at TV show Luther. Luther has run for 5 seasons and has 20 episodes. It's like Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, quite short, gets to the point. It's done really well. Idris Elba's career has skyrocketed because of his performance in Luther and also in The Wire. Well, the diversity chief believes that Luther doesn't feel authentic because in the show he has no black friends and doesn't eat Caribbean food. This coming from the same person that praised Elba for playing a really strong black character lead. I just want to insert this now. I didn't really pay much attention to the fact Luther was black when I watched Luther. She also believes that the issue with authenticity comes from the lack of support with an environment and culture that is reflective of their background. The full quote reads, "When it first came out, everybody loved the fact that Idris Elba was in there, a really strong black character lead. We all fell in love with Luther, who didn't, right? But after you got into the second series, you were kind of like, okay, actually he doesn't have any black friends, he doesn't eat any Caribbean food, this doesn't feel authentic." So I think it is great having those big landmark shows with those key characters, but it is about making sure that everything around them, their environment, their culture, the set is absolutely reflective. He's a DCI working in London, solving high-profile murders. I'm not going to deny there is some heritage there, and it is very multicultural, but it's a crime show. I keenly await a Series 6 that is now totally reflective of authentic cultural backgrounds. Oh, and before we get to the final subject, thank you Wendy O. Cooper for asking me about this in a comment, and to those who posted it on my Discord server. Thank you. Join us. So to the final subject, we're going to go to Jordan Peterson, who has been compared recently in a comic strip. Some of his talking points anyway have been to the Red Skull. You know, that Nazi. Not really sure if he actually was a Nazi if you base it on the movies. If anything from the movies, he was using Nazis, or the Nazi party and what they were doing, to push Hydra's agenda. This is the comic strip, by the way. Not going to deny it is something quite special. The way I found out about this, by the way, was because I noticed in my recommended a video by his daughter, and she went through this and all the articles. All the articles imply that he is outraged, indignant, and in shock. But the first thing he tweeted out was one of the memes, comparing him to the Red Skull. He did respond to it, yes. Is he outraged? Not really. He's been critical of the writer in the past. The issue really is the fact they're taking his talking points, his 10 steps or rules, and applying it to Nazis, which is the problem really, isn't it? Now it could all be argued it's just a joke. Sure, and I see the funny side. It is quite amusing to use reductio ad absurdum, but this is targeted at younger people. They're not going to see it that way when they find out what the underlying message is. They see it as, these are bad, right, so anyone that espouses this is bad. Wait, there's a man called Jordan Peterson? The boomer? As far as the memes go with this, they're fantastic. As far as the comic goes, it's a tad disingenuous, and it's worth addressing as such. I might actually have to buy it, though, so I can actually read it. We'll see.
Donate to my Patreon and I'll buy comic books.
As we're done, I would like to know what you all think, so please do let me know in the comments down below. As a final thing, I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight some Murder Fun Time or Assassin's Creed Syndicate. If I don't see you there, have a fantastic Thursday, and thank you all for listening.